Onivia, League of Legends highlights.
Massive upset.
Oh yeah.
Given this draft.
I mean, the draft gap here is quite large. And
yeah.
I mean, there were so many picks that Clear could have gone with here.
It is possible. He is on the space today.
Yeah.
Definitely great that we do see that item choice. As Bro going to be starting up this Drake, and now a flash comes out from Clear. Good pressure being put on by Morgan, still utilizing this early power of the Udyr.
Yeah, and that Dark Steel, I mean, adds a little bit and flash available.
Execute can just kind of face check all sorts of things if they do not have vision, and that is very important because they do not have vision. That is absolutely true. He's going to get engaged on as there's the Dawning Shadow, has to flash to get himself out. That's a big ulti from Willer, but it's the Zeri that locks down the first kill in the fight, and then Willer is just going to execute them. Flash out from Effort, that gets him to safety, and Envy did get that one kill, but they trade down, and it looks like the Dragon will belong to the Xin Zhao. Has teleport. Doesn't look like they're going to fight for this Herald that is being a bit frustrating, resetting all over the place as Execute is moving in, so never mind. We're looking for another 5v5, slow down onto Effort as in goes Willer. They look for the Rakan and throw him backwards, but he's able to battle dance his way through, not able to get the rocks down in time, I don't think. Was Closer as Morgan trying to tank this one up, but he's taking a lot of damage here for free, and there is the hook that's going to connect. Weaver's Wall going to separate Envy as he's fighting Clear on the top side of this fight. Meganar comes in, and he flashes out of the wallop, but still Closer is going to go down, and Execute and the rest of FearX are going to run away.
Yeah, that was not the greatest setup there for Closer. He ends up getting a big shove, but there's no follow-up damage. It's still early game here for this Senna. And now health bars are low, and they still want to contest.
There's only three of them. That's going to be the only answer here as Willer is on his Raptors. It looks like they're just not interested in this Dragon. It's only Dragon number 2, so not end of the world, I guess, but still looking for an opportunity.
On his own?
This game is pretty slow.
It is slow, and it is also like a lot of almost action.
Yeah, that's a nice little flick back onto Effort. Does take 50% of his health bar, and that's a nice shockwave in response as well as Karis. Now just going to get flashed on. Look at that. No hesitation here from Execute as Dawning Shadow.
Top laners. Maybe a play here on the Closer. Maybe.
We'll see.
Turret's low.
The problem is that Doiv is the Lee Sin, so therefore Closer is able to put down rocks and he can't really do anything. There's a flash in, all right. Karis going down exceptionally low as Closer not quite able to get in close enough, and so not actually going to see any result in the fight. But
yeah, no, it was.
Yeah, Henna is level 11 and Envy's level 15, so the difference between these two damage dealers is quite large. The Gnar does have teleport available. This fight is probably not going to be their favorite thing.
Clear is pushing inner as well, and he has teleport.
Well, Hook is going to connect here from Execute as they chain the CC onto Karis. He gets a big old shield though, and now Effort diving into that backline, but not a massive amount of value as, oh no, Envy just gets hopped on here as immediately he's over the wall once again. Not much of an R-bar, but Clear doesn't need it. He's an AD carry as well, I guess. And that is going to be a beautiful connection, and the wind becomes lightning from Willer. He takes down Envy, and that is going to be the end of this fight for Bro. FearX, they just demolished them.
And Karis was just so patient with his shockwave. He had so many different angles. He had so many different times where he could have actually used, but it wasn't really the high value when it could have been at the beginning of the fight. Just so timid to press R, and then Clear coming in. They didn't win the fight fast enough. They didn't utilize the Orianna because they kept putting the ball in really nice spots. Like, okay, there's a choke point here they can't approach. Then I put it in another choke point, but he never pressed R on it.
Oh,
he did here.
It goes entirely wide, and Clear just going to celebrate with a little bit of hopscotch.
That's not what I meant by press R, Karis.
Yeah, sometimes you press R and it doesn't really work, but it is actually a epitomization of what happened in that last team fight, because FearX just straight up outplayed Bro at every turn. They were max range hooks, max range wind becomes lightnings from Willer to make sure that he could take down Envy. And this Zeri just didn't have any space to do anything because all of the FearX buttons were just hitting, you know?
Yeah. You have to win these fights decisively as Bro. You can't just win the longer one here or you can, but you know, not if the Gnar is huge. He's on 3 items now, and the Closer is also going to be a big long-term damage threat here.
And now they are setting up their minion waves for a bit of aggression on the Baron, and there's Doiv getting caught out of position. It's about as elementary as that, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? As Doiv goes down, that's the jungler. That is going to mean Baron. Dawning Shadow also means Effort is going to go down as well. And Karis just
under their noses, so Doiv does kind of get in there and check, and then eventually he dies, and It's a very boring way to win this game as FearX, but it's a very correct, nice shockwave, and they could still win this game. But now, with a near 10,000 gold lead in FearX's pockets, I just don't see it.
No, it's looking pretty doomed, and Execute has just hit them because they're losing their base. Morgan trying to keep the minions away from the bottom inhibitor turret, but that is not going to save mid. And there is another minion wave actually conga lining towards his top lane as well. The amount of homework that FearX have been acing so far has been really, really good because getting control of that top wave means that they're going to be able to continue this pressure. And just naturally, I think that Clear should be able to get control of this bottom side. Very difficult for Morgan to defend against this Baron buff.
Yeah, and I mean, he's just struggling. He's got good wave clear, but meanwhile on the top side.
Yeah, there's a massive engage from Execute. Finds 3 with the knock-up. Effort cannot do anything about this, and Henna is just raining down these auto attacks. Another inhibitor will go down, and I think this is just going to be the game. And I think a lot of people are going to say that this one was boring, but man, was it clean.
It was clean.
End. Like, the amount of, like, ticking of boxes that FearX did, they did exactly what you're supposed to do in a late game. It was beautifully done.
It really was, and we didn't get to say that about FearX all too much this season, but team fights, definitely not the cleanest, but the macro, that was good in this game, and a lot of it was Clear, setting up these waves. Willer?
Right, that's a nice little kickback. It's going to mean not a whole lot. As Doiv does go down, but he does demonstrate that he can do that if he needs to. There's a flash forward from Clear. He finds Envy, pushes him into his own Nexus as he's on the fountain now, trying to keep himself alive. The flick is good onto Morgan. A teleport in the middle of the battle for
Okay, savings rank BRION draft.
Yes.
Could not be more summed up than like, there's not much else to say except it's circles. Yeah. Doiv.
All right, let's see whether they can do anything meaningful here to Clear. Good stun is going to come forward, and Clear is just looking for a solo. It's not going to happen. Morgan still had to flash, but that is going to be first blood going over to the Jax jungle. High value here for Bro.
Will
the game isn't
the game.
decided.
Yeah, it just means the game will get more interesting because FearX will actually be confident enough to fight early. Whereas for Bro, you know, you can give this first
taken away. Very sad stuff here, and he's actually going to wrap around. Look for a little bit of an ulti here. Does manage to find it as Closer. Gets the flick back onto Poolbay. Willer happily tanks up about 4 turret shots and is able to take down the Orianna. Great punishment there.
Yeah, you don't have ult, so I'm going on you. That was a really good call that Clear is back. Maybe he gets his chance. Nope, TP. Down here, maybe something?
Yeah, Effort just going to get headbutted. And FearX just wanting to clear out the vision where they can. Crash down from Effort isn't exactly fantastic as he gets knocked up. Magnet Storm comes on through, and they are just going to kill the Rel. There he goes. Now there's a stun onto Envy as Execute with the Unbreakable Will is just very, very tanky.
Found out after subsequent nerfs that, in fact, yeah, she's still really strong at early skirmishes when she has her ultimate and 2v2s, 3v3s.
There's a cease and desist. In comes Closer as well as Effort just can't get on over. It's a decent shockwave, but I think Poolbay is still going to be dead. Closer locks down that kill as now Doiv. He's the one that's going to take his turn to die, and Henna is going to lock that kill up. I think this game is heading towards certification, Wolf, and it's a bit of a worry.
Like, this is on Effort. Like, Envy is like, okay, we're done with that, and Effort's like, no, I got the angle. Yeah, you got the CC, but they have the Zeri, and Envy was so far away, they lost
quite some time. And it's been on the ban list, I think, against FearX in a lot of their games. Is now he's going to find the mid laner here for Bro, and Willer is so incredibly strong. Sundered Sky already completed, and Poolbay, he's running the wrong direction. Seismic Shove is going to miss, and Poolbay doing the walk strategy very, very well. But still, Vault Breaker is going to come through. And
he's flanking them!
He is definitely flanking them. And the minions! Minions going to be taken down here as Poolbay will tank up the turret, and there is a last Vault Breaker. Home goes Willer now, and he'll all of that money that he just made.
I don't think Willer spent... Okay, hold on. Doiv?
Yeah, goes in, does find a counter-strike, as now Henna has ulted as well. Still Execute with the Unbreakable Will is trying to tank up, but it's just not going to be enough to deal with. The 3 of them raining hell down upon him, and Henna not able to dissuade them from killing his cow.
Nope. Well, you know, I don't know.
Still just going to throw down the Herald. And that should be this outer turret on the bottom side of the map taken down.
Both of these games, FearX have just gotten an advantage and just run it all over the map. And I mean that in a good way. They've just basically taken all of these critical positions. They've then put deep vision around this turret so they could set up for this play. And, I mean, there's just not much that Bro can do. A dive comp from behind just doesn't operate, unfortunately. But FearX are really just not playing this slow. They're playing it very aggressive.
Versus Henna, but around the inner turret here. And that is a very aggressive teleport. Clear just going to come on over, and he does now have his Sunfire Cape completed. This will be a large influx of money. And there it is. Inner turret taken down now. Effort looking for an opportunity, but he's headbutted away. And I think Execute might have a little bit of trouble here. Is still going to be able to flash to get to relative safety, and Clear is a huge brick wall to stand in front of Bro. Ulti here from Henna, who's looking to try and turn it. Has to respect the orb as they are standing on it for the moment. Envy still looking for an opportunity, and it is a dive comp wolf, but they're not using it like one. They're playing it like a front-to-back composition, and that's not really what you want to see.
I think they're so scared of the closer teleport coming through and splitting them in half, they decide to back away, play it really slow, but it's Kai'Sa. It's Kai'Sa with the Shiv. You know, she's not going to be doing any poke damage, so a little bit unfortunate here for Bro. They can't make anything of the play. There was a nice attempted punish onto Execute, but he's got Hex Flash. TP coming through here for the Orianna.
Yeah. Kobe coming back, does have his Flash and Shockwave available. His Effort taking a lot of damage. Cease and Desist actually invested onto him as he just goes up into the sky. It's a fantastic Shockwave. Can they find more, though, is the question, as Morgan diving on in. It's a double kill for Envy, but that is still the Vi locking down the Crocodile. And Clear is still up and available alongside Henna, who does do a fair bit of work. Still, Bro get control of this Dragon area, and first Cloud Drake will belong to them. Back-to-back Cloud Souls, by the way, everyone. Isn't it a beautiful day?
It is a very nice day outside. In fact, very few clouds, so I guess they're just all on the Rift. As a contest?
Not able to actually lock anything down here as Clear sets up the circle as he is wont to do. That's a big shutdown as the Vi goes down, and now Doive, he's looking for even more. Henna trying to throw these burst fires out, and Clear is the one that does it. He stood there, and the circle took him down.
If they had gotten there a little bit faster and actually secured the Dragon, this would have been a huge disaster for Bro. It's still a pretty big disaster. As it
Ward right here is getting a whole host of value. I just don't know whether Bro can actually make their way over here. Let's see whether they can utilize this dive composition to dive into the Baron Pit, because that's what they're going to need to do. Is headbutt out for Doive is now in they go. Good Shockwave is going to connect as Closer just flashing into the back of this pit. It is a catastrophe as Doive locks down the Baron. And now, FearX, can you actually punish them for stealing your stuff? As Effort able to limp his way out. Fantastic flash over from Morgan to execute that kill. And now Henna left in the pit, out to dry. And Morgan's going to chop him up. FearX, that was a throw.
That was a huge throw, a huge one. And in Henna, he can do so well in these extended fights if there's no CC to lock him down at the end of it, but there was there, and he still did a lot of work, and if he was on 3 or 4 items, maybe they actually end up winning that fight, but it was just super broken up. You didn't have any. FearX are super slow to respond to this. They only send Clear back, and Closer was already there, but like, yeah, you're going to lose an inhibitor, and then you're probably still not going to be able to secure this Dragon. We were really praising the macro of FearX, and FearX, Wither got scuttled.
Yeah, and they also got a control ward on the red buff in the Bro jump.
One of those. It's very frustrating for FearX to know another one's coming. Envy?
Well, in goes Willer. Is going to have his ulti popped, though, and they dive on top of Henna. Not able to finish him off, though, as you can see now Closer finally making his way into the fight, but Willer is already dead. Bullbay taken down exceptionally low, but Henna is dead. The red buff is going to lock that one down. Killer Instinct from Envy, and he knows that this fight is pretty much done. It's a great flick, though, as Closer, still a fair bit of damage on him, threads the volleys through. How did Fox actually make that one work?
Insane. There's just not enough long-term damage.
It goes down very, very low. They're not wanting to flip it. And Clear going to get in here and push Effort away. He wants to find that angle, but it's going to be so difficult. And now the charge up is going to come through. Not sure about the Crocodile as the main target, who does press that Dominus button, and he's still going to go down, so never you mind. If you all have the same idea, it is just going to work out. It's a double kill for Closer. Killer Instinct into the backline for Envy, though, and he's now going to have to try and fight it, but that seismic shove he was so scared of is going to kill him in the end. And FearX, yeah, they had a bit of a hiccup, but, you know, they just they win the glass of water and everything was fine.
I guess they win in the end, as, yeah, Willer maybe don't engage on the Crocodile, but he didn't really have any other option there. He wanted to get his way out, and it bought enough space for the Zeri. Henna ends up having a massive ultimate there and coming through, and Closer, big improvement this game around on the Taliyah in terms of what sort of impact he can make in team fights. Actually doing a ton of damage in the last one, and this time that final shove does Envy in. and they're going to push to end. No Baron, but they think they have the damage, and with only effort here, I think they are correct in that assumption.
They absolutely are. They're just ignoring effort entirely. Some casual pulverizers, some headbutts as well. It's pacifist mode, as now they're going to look to focus down this Nexus. They should be able to do so, as Closer is going to be on in there.
Ult.
That's a double kill. Make it a triple for Morgan as the Lord grabs a few on his way out, but that is going to be exactly that, his way out.